Alright guys, today we're talking about everything we learned from yesterday's training camp practice. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off right away, this was the first training camp practice after a preseason game. And while that is very, awesome, it also means that these guys now have stuff to work on and improve on moving forward. Now, Alex Kappa was back at practice today, and we also saw the return of Drew Chrisman, which, let's be honest, put a smile on everyone's face. After the whole situation that happened 2 weeks ago where he collapsed in the weight room, went to the hospital, and thankfully everything turned out positive. It is nice to have him back and very sad that he had to go through what he had to go through. Let's go ahead and talk about it from this article, though. On the first day of training camp, Cincinnati Bengals offense coordinator Brian Callahan was asked about the next steps for the Cincinnati Bengals offense, and he smiled. I don't want to give away too much. I don't want to give too much away, Callahan said. We've done a lot with self-reflection and a lot of studying around the league. We really want to be good at things we did gather about ourselves and some of the things we hope to add to our offense this year. During training camp practice on Sunday, the changes in the Bengals offense was more obvious than it has ever been this summer. They worked on their run game, including short yardage situations near the goal line. Those drills couldn't have looked more different than what they looked like at this point last year. From the start of 2021 season through week 4 of the 2022 season, the Bengals relied on an under center wide zone rushing scheme that featured Joe Mixon more as a power runner. Then heading into week 5, the Bengals scrapped that game plan, eliminated almost the entirety of their under center run scheme, and went all into a shotgun running game. It was the biggest traumatic adjustment of Taylor's head coaching career, and it saved the Bengals offense last season. In 2023, the Bengals are leaning even further into the direction of shotgun running game, even when they're trying to punch the ball in the end zone with their goal line offense. The Bengals are more effective running the ball out of the shotgun. And I want to go ahead and point out this real fast, by the way. The reason why a lot of teams, especially if the offensive line isn't the greatest, now the Bengals have a good offensive line now, but when it comes to offensive line, a lot of times if a team has bad offensive line, they're running a lot of their offense out of shotgun, and the reason why is because you have a couple more seconds, to sit back there and throw the ball. Let's say if one of your linemen sucks, right, and they just are absolutely trash, instead of being under center where, let's say, your center messes up, or somebody, pushes down your right guard the second you hike the ball, well, guess what? You're this close to the defensive tackle who's about to sack you. While in shotgun, it's a little bit more of a setback. But again, like I said, everything, always has positives and negatives. Negative about shotgun is if you back up too much, as we have seen so many times, the tackles will push their guys around like a circle. And if you back up too much, the edge rushers will get you. So, again, like I said, there's always positive and negatives with every defense or offensive formation. But shotgun is very pro, not bad offensive line, but it's very pro passing, and it also helps out the offensive line. It pairs up with what our offense is. Bengals center Teddy Cross said, "We want a vertical passing team with the quarterback and receivers we have. And the offensive line that we have came from duo and gap scheme offenses. When you think of the traditional outside run, under center, power rushing game, that's not what we signed this offensive line to do." Before the big scheme change last season, the Bengals ran a wide zone runs that had Mixon trying to bounce outside of tackles, make jump cuts, and make defenders miss. Mixon wasn't as good in those areas of his game last season, and the offensive line wasn't consistent blocking those type of runs. Last season, the Bengals had 4 new offensive line starters, who the Bengals acquired because of their abilities as pass blockers. The Bengals didn't sign Teddy K, Alex Kappa, and Collins, or draft Cordell Volson because of their ability to be run blockers. Early last season, the Bengals offense was predictable. When quarterback Joe Burrow lined up on the center, there was a short run. When Burrow lined up in shotgun, there was a drop back pass. We felt truncated, right tackle Jonah Williams said. We were struggling in the first couple weeks, some of us not playing well, but there was also some scheme issues. Once we got that figured out, you saw our offense take off. When the Bengals embraced their shotgun run game in October of last season, the entire offense changed. After week 5, Mixon was the most efficient running back in the NFL. He ran downhill, followed the big blockers ahead of him, and constantly kept the offense on schedule. Burrow also found a few more chances to throw the ball deep on plays where the defense was expecting a run, and the safeties crept closer to the line of scrimmage. After starting last season with a 2-3 record, the Bengals only lost one more game in the regular season. During training camp this year, the Bengals have added new elements to their shotgun run game. They've been working on more types of run-pass options, which becomes a big part of the offense by the end of last season. And they've been running more play-action passes out of shotgun. That's one thing that marries up to what we're doing, Williams said. The point of play action is selling the run, then passing it. What's really effective with a really effective run game out of shotgun that helps our play action game as our linebackers creep up. That's a big part of our game. Teams have to defend it. It's not a secret. Teams know it's coming. The Bengals also expect shotgun runs and more play action passes out of shotgun to decrease the amount of battle passes at the line of scrimmage. Burrow's lone weakness last season was when his passes got tipped by defensive linemen. Sometimes defensive linemen didn't even engage with the Bengals' offensive line, just dropped back to tip the pass. The Bengals are confident that the scheme changes with their running game will prevent those opportunities for defensive linemen in the passing game in 2023. When you got big guys like this on our line who can move like this, cover up defensive linemen, there won't be a lot of batted balls. Bengals left tackle Orlando Brown said, "We have the ability to get the ball where it needs to be on RPOs plays in the quick game." During training camp, it looked like the Bengals offense is borrowing elements from teams like San Francisco 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Chiefs and the Eagles. They're using similar type of runs out of shotgun, but those offenses look a lot different than the Bengals offense. Those other offenses have designated opportunities for their offensive linemen to move the pocket from side to side and the quarterback to roll out toward the sideline. The Bengals are playing for Burrow to operate right in the middle of the field with a 7-yard drop back unless he needs to scramble. The Bengals coaching staff sees a more consistent running game as the way to get Burrow more opportunities to throw the ball down the field. During a practice on Sunday where the Bengals focused on the running game, the difference is the Bengals running game showed the team's plan to make that happen. Last season, Bengals rushed these scheme changes during the season. The Bengals had an entire offseason to build a shotgun running scheme into the offense for 2023, and they're expanding upon the adjustments that were made last season. We have some new runs this year, Teddy K said. It will be fun. We added to our arsenal. We got some really interesting ways to run the ball and that I'm excited about. Okay. Not bad. Very exciting about that. So, yeah, that's really, I'd say majority of what we worked on today was that whole, shotgun run and scheme changes. Obviously, I say today because I am recording this video yesterday. I know it's kind of weird for me to say today. But let's go ahead and talk about the rest of this. But again, just continuing to work on, making this offense not one-dimensional. Like, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. What happened in that Buffalo Bills playoff game? We were able to run the football and pass it. Buffalo had no answers. And that's not just Buffalo at the end of the day who's going to be like that if we can run the ball effectively and pass the ball effectively. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what KC really kind of learned over the last couple, years is that they've been able to run the ball more effective and pass the ball. And of course, it's almost impossible to stop that. If you can control time possession, control the game with the run, then everyone has to respect it. They have to commit to the running back, and then you hit him over top. And we have the best receivers in the game to get that job done over the top. So it's going to be really exciting to see how this offense plays this year, especially with the fact, again, as they said, we have a whole offseason to work on this. Chris Evans gets creative to prepare for his new role. During practice on Sunday, Bengals running back Chris Evans saw Bengals defensive tackle DJ Reader break through the pocket, and Evans made the exact type of play that could get him more snaps in 2023. Evans spent his whole offseason working on ways to improve as a pass blocker. He showed his growth on Sunday when he lowered his shoulder and pushed Reader backward and bought time for quarterback Trevor Siemian. How did Evans improve as a pass blocker? I did drop towers at the amusement park, Evans said. I got into a bite suit when the team visited Fort Knox. I went with the rookies. They said they were letting the cannon out and asked if anyone wanted to go in the bite suit and run it. Nobody wanted to do it, but I had to train my body to do what I don't want to do. During the offseason, Evans saw former Bengals running back Samaje Perine signed with the Denver Broncos. The Bengals are still looking for the third down back, and with Evans wants to fill that role for the Bengals this offseason. Perine is one of the best blocking running backs in the NFL, and coaching staff told Evans that he needs to improve as a pass blocker to get more snaps. Pass protection is an attitude, Evans said. Once you train your mind to do it, you can do it. But how do you train your mind to stay poised when a 300-pound defensive lineman is running right at you and trying to pummel you into the ground? Evans knew he needed more experience in uncomfortable situations. What can I do in my life where I shock my body so that when I'm on the field and everyone is yelling, how can I train my brain right? Evans said. So I did the drop towers and bite suit. You can't practice pass protection during the offseason with someone trying to murder you. I did this. That's interesting. And by the way, the bite suit, I believe, if I'm correct, is you put on a suit and a dog chases you. And Marshawn Lynch did that, and Marshawn Lynch got thrown. Yes, beast mode got thrown. I remember looking back and seeing the canine nabbing at me. Yep, I was right. Evans said, it went well. He bit my arm. That dog was strong, man. It's just the fact that everyone didn't want to do it. I was standing there with the rookies, and I did it. Samaje is going to the Broncos, and I'm not saying that no one wants to pass block, but someone has to do it. And again, like I said, yeah, that is really, by the way, most of my subscribers probably have never done the bite suit. I haven't either, but I've seen people do it. And you just look it up on YouTube. The bite suit. Literally, so you wear this gigantic suit. And I'm not talking, I mean, like, it's probably this thick, right? Of, like, just leather. Because obviously a dog about to chase you and about to, throw you to the ground. Now, there's different things. Some of them have, like, that much thick leather. Sometimes a person would just wear, like, a sleeve on their arm like this. And it's that thick. And then they do like this and the dog bites their arm. It's different things, like, obviously. But, based on what I'm saying with this one, this is actually a full-on suit. First off, it's hard to run in that thing. Nonetheless, when a dog that's 180 pounds, what the dog does is it bites you on the arm, right? Or bites you wherever it bites you. And then it drops its weight. So these are canines that probably weigh up to like 70, 80, 90 pounds. So imagine something running at you, grabbing you, right? On your arm, then it drops its weight. You're already off balance because of the suit, and you just go flying backwards. It's scary because, again, this is an animal who's trained to take you down and trained to disable you. More observations from Sunday's practice. Defensive line Joseph Asai and Cam Sample are taking regular snaps as interior pass rushers. They both struggled. They both stronger than they were last year, and their strengths show up in these matchups. Rookie cornerback DJ Turner is pulling away from competition to be with the Bengals' backup outside cornerbacks behind Cheeto and Cam Taylor-Britt, while Sidney Jones missed practice with an injury. Turner kept his strong training camp going with leaping pass breakups and one-on-one coverage on deep throws across the middle of the field against Jamar Chase. Bengals offensive tackle Donta Smith is turning heads with his pass protection reps. He has taken over a few one-on-one blocking drills, and Smith has been consistent in 11-11 drills. Tight end Irv Smith showed how he could be a useful piece in the red zone. He had his quick release off the line of scrimmage while lined up in the slot, ran a slant, and got himself open for a touchdown catch. And I'll be honest, training camp yesterday, we looked at some of these yesterday, but I'm going to go and pull them up for you guys. We looked amazing. And that's not an understatement. We looked very, very good. And just shout out to Trags, as always, for posting these clips. But right here, we have Cam Taylor-Britt against my man's T. Higgins. And he beat Cam Taylor-Britt, and he also beat Mike Hilton on this play. This is a double. He beat both of those guys. And again, we looked at this yesterday, but I want to stress this enough. Look why this play happened. You can't see it well in this angle, but it's because DJ Reader blew past the line, right? Got in the backfield, and Chris Evans blocked him and stopped him from getting to the quarterback. Which, again, you can't stress enough how amazing that truly is. This pass right here is way overthrown, intended for Jamar Chase. Trevor Siemian, just bad throw on that play. Actually, no, Jake Browning, I think, on that play. This one was an amazing catch by T, but he was simply out of bounds. So, one-handed catch, but he's out of bounds, so really can't say anything there. This one was a deep pass that was broken up by DJ Turner on Jamar Chase. DJ just runs over, slaps the ball out of the air. Love to see it, man. Freaking love to see it. And then right here, we have a touchdown to Jamar Chase where he beats Cam Taylor-Britt. And again, like I said, Alex Kappa back. It was a great process yesterday, but you know what? Got to continue to have great processes. We have, of course, Friday where we'll be live and watching our team play against the Atlanta Falcons. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.